We've got round one today. So the timer on here isn't working right now, so the timer will be kept on my phone in here. It looks like we see Eric win the die roll. Also, today, joining me on cast is not my normal number two. I don't have Jory with me today. I got Lucas here with me today.
Yo, yo, yo.
Worst start to the day for you there, Lucas. Okay, so we'll do a quick dive into the deck lists as we're waiting for our players to start in there. We've got Eric on, like, basically stock mono green Tron. He's got 2 worm coils in the main board. He's only got 1 Ulamog, which normally we see 2 Ulamogs, but I see here he has a split of 1 Kozilek Butcher of Truth and 1 Ulamog. Kozilek being the 11 mana, when you cast it, you draw 4 cards. So it's pretty gas if you're against like a red matchup. Not a red matchup, a red-black matchup where they're thought season you a lot, where you can just rip it and go, oh, draw 4.
Hope it comes up today.
We're just having some technical difficulties and we're trying to figure out what's going on here. But I'm going to continue to navigate the game. Lucas is a lot more techie than me, so he's gonna try and figure out why we can't hear over there. But I think we're gonna start it off with some mulligans. Looks like they got the game started. Michael has mulligan once, and it looks like Eric has kept his 7. So if I'm Michael, I am scared right now. Like, to see my opponent keep his 7 game 1, I'm like, ooh, that's scary. Especially when, of course, he's on Tron. We're seeing Michael just fetch right away. Let's see if we can get life totals in on here. No, we don't have life totals. So we're gonna try and just like play by ear on life totals for this first round, and then further on it's gonna get a lot better. But we just see Eric play his, I think that's a power plant and pass after casting a star, and we're just seeing Michael fetch and struggle to find which fetch land he wants. It's hard to get the perfect fetch while playing 4-color. We see a shocked in Temple Garden. So Michael's down to 17 life, and we're gonna see if he's gonna pendant the star turn 1. Because if you turn 1 pendant the star, which we do end up seeing happening, that takes Eric off green mana. So if you had like a Sylvan Scry in hand, he's not able to use it. That's a power plant there. So I do see a Sylvan Scry in Eric's hand, so he definitely had the green mana to get assemble turn 3 Tron, but Michael's just like keeping him off it. And then we're gonna see a turn 2 Ren and 6, which this is like the start that Michael needs to be able to beat Tron. He needs to be able to pressure Never Miss It a land drop, as well as taking him off green very early. And oh wow, never mind. Eric just had natural Tron in his 7. No
As
tutor,
he should.
no tutor, no nothing, and he's just ticking down this card and grabbing something right now. If we look at his sideboard, he might grab, I want to say, I think that was a Pith and Needle he grabbed there. It was a Pith and Needle or a Sunder and Titan. Sunder and Titan is just like the best card in the world against Michael here, because he's on 4 colors. He's punishing the greedy land base, which you should if you're able to. I also see that Eric's on choke, so choke is gonna go pretty hard here when it comes down to taking out game 2 when we see the sideboard cards actually come to the main board. Sorry, we're still trying to figure out this tech issues. The stream's still gonna run and the gameplay is still gonna be there, but we're just gonna try and figure this out real quick. We see a Risen Reef. So, unfortunately for Eric, unfortunately for Michael, Eric is going to just like absolutely murder Michael here. Eric's gonna just be able to go take down Karn, grab Sunder and Titan, destroy all of your lands. Sure, Michael still has lands because he has a Remnant 6 in play, but as this game continues, it's just gonna be it's just not gonna go good. We're actually just gonna see an Ulamog? Well, what's better than a Sunder and Titan destroying 3 lands than an Ulamog clearing out the way for the Sunder and Titan?
The next turn he gets to swing with it, it's gonna be rough.
I do see a Teferi in Michael's hand, so if I'm Michael, I might just be bouncing this.
I think you have to.
The big problem is Michael and Eric are friends. They came here together.
Okay.
So Michael knows that this is almost an unwinnable matchup. Eric's gonna Sunder and Titan and just one-sided Armageddon.
Being able to tutor up the Sundering Titan just makes it so much better.
We also see Eric grab Liquid Metal Coden, so you're going to get Sunder and Titan to clear the path of all your lands, and then you're going to get Liquid Metal Coden, Karn, Strip Mined every single turn.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough for Michael to play through.
It's not going to be a fun game. And you can tell Michael knows this. Michael's sitting there going, of course you had turn 3 Tron, natural.
Always do.
Who doesn't? Like, if you don't keep natural Tron in your opening hand, what are you doing?
People are asking about prices and I don't.
So just have a judge came in and asked us something real quick, but it's I'm smelling the writing on the wall here, Lucas.
It's not looking good.
Michael fetched a basic island, but what does it really do for him?
Not much. It's a little bit of hope, but it's not gonna end well, I don't think.
Omnath? We could see an Omnath here? No, just a pendant on the Karn.
Okay.
That just actually doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure that the card that Eric grabbed on the first Karn activation was was a Sunder Titan. I couldn't tell it was a masterpiece. Eric has a very shiny deck.
He's a dedicated Tron player.
Yeah, that's just a Sunder Titan, and that's just the concession from Michael. As we figured, as soon as the Sunder Titan came down, that was game.
It just ends it off the bat. Makes it infinitely harder to just do anything.
Yeah, you have to have exactly counterspell in your hand there to be even able to deal with it. And looking at its list here, do you see a counterspell? Because I don't. So
hold on, let me check my glasses real quick.
But it does not look like there is a counterspell.
Not looking like it.
So Eric's going to take game 1, and we're going to move over to sideboard. Eric sideboards in nothing. Because the only possible card he sideboards in here is Choke. And honestly, your matchup's so good into this 4-color elemental list.
It doesn't matter. You have a Tron board. Like, you have a Karn board, essentially.
You
That's
have
all you need.
You have Choke and Eric's on 3 Haywires.
Okay.
So you can put in a Haywire Might, but
Not
it
gonna
doesn't
do
really
much.
matter.
Michael, however, he has lots of options to bring in.
Yeah. Michael will probably bring in Vindicate because it's destroy target permanent.
Yeah.
So that includes Tron lands. Also, Magus of the Moon.
That just shuts down the deck.
That gets him real good. Chalice of the Void is surprisingly good against Tron. So I'm a blue-white control player, and this matchup's horrendous, Tron. But if you slam a turn 2 Chalice on one, and they keep a star heavy or star and sphere heavy hand to try and get there, they just can't win.
They kind of just, what are they gonna do? Hope to draw it? Like,
That's always a possibility, but that's where counter spells also come in. Like if you put in Chalice of the Void, but you have no counter spells, it doesn't really matter.
yeah. Bring in Force as well.
Force is like decent,
I don't.
but 2 for 1 in yourself.
It's kind of rough.
Yeah, 2 for 1 in it's a 2 for 2, but Tron doesn't run that many artifacts.
I think
The chance of seeing it now
is not. It's just like, what would you rather?
What's
like,
your pick
yeah,
your poison?
What are you taking out for Force?
And Tron does run a lot of artifacts. Let me correct my prior statement. It runs a lot of artifacts, but not a lot of heavy, high impact artifacts.
Yeah, it's a lot of small ones that just get value.
Like we probably will see the forces being brought in just because Eric does run 2 Cityscape main board.
Okay.
So that being able to kill Cityscapes is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
As well as Eric's on 2 Wormcoil main board and none in the sideboard. So like being able to just clear the way of a Wormcoil isn't too bad.
Honestly, Wormcoil, just have Tron play it on turn 3. You're in a solid position at that point.
Yeah, Wormcoil always does very well.
We see also Spell Pierce. I don't know if that's coming in.
Spell Pierce is hit or miss.
It does hit most of the deck, but the things you want to be countering are the creatures, mostly for
like Karn Liberated's really big.
Yeah.
So like if Eric goes turn 3, here's my 7 mana, I'll cast a Karn Liberated, and Michael's able to Spell Pierce that. That's pretty big for him. But in general, it's Tron. You're not being able to Spell Pierce a lot of things.
You're not gonna be able to do it and be like, they're gonna be able to pay for it most of the time.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So we're seeing them get into game 2. Well, just a little bit more shuffling. It looked like they were finished, but pick back up the deck and continue shuffling.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. What else do we got in? I'm trying to see if there's any running the new Titania from Brothers War.
Pretty sure that's the old one. So,
is that?
Yeah. That Titania is definitely the old one.
The MH2, the one that was reprinted in MH2.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot what they were called. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Titania, the new Titania, very bad.
That's why I was confused.
That Titania is really good with Elishnorn.
You do get to just
because
make
when
elementals.
it ETBs puts yep, it's me and Lucas
Hello,
today
hello.
there. Polar Wusky.
Yeah, I was slightly confused on why, and I didn't think it synergized, but yes, that Titania is
you're also
a lot
playing
better.
every fetch land in the world in this deck,
So you do get good value off of it.
Very good value. We're looking at the opening hands here, and Eric's looks fine if he has access to a green source. Nope, it doesn't look like he did. And Michael looked like it had triple three fairy in it, which doesn't seem very good.
You do get to bounce the very first Tron like anything cast off Tron, unless it's
a Karn.
Unless it's a Karn liberated.
A Karn or a Great Creator. The turnout today was only 19 players there, Kyle. But three fairy is just like to be honest. It's a good card, but in this matchup you're just crying.
It doesn't do much.
You're paying 3 mana for it to bounce one card and draw you a card, which it's decent, but it's not gonna win you the game from an unlosable match point, basically. Oh, it looks like one of those three fairies. One of what I thought was a three fairy is actually a Risen Reef.
Okay, that
good old Risley Reef. That'll maybe do something, but
keep natural Tron.
I see Power Plant Tower.
I think so.
I didn't see mine, cause that's Power Plant. Sorry, that might have been. I might have saw Power Plant mine.
Yeah, I don't know if there's all three.
Yeah, those Tron lands blend in very well with the other cards in the deck. I'm pretty sure they're double Masters foils, not 8th edition.
Okay.
Even though 8th editions go hard.
They would be very sick.
They're very expensive as well. We're just seeing Eric play the land go game. Not Eric, Michael, sorry. But Eric, it looks like he has a tower. That's the mine.
That's the mine.
Yeah, and I think I see 2 towers in Eric's hand. So if I'm right, oh man, Michael doesn't have a third land, and if Eric just has it, which I'm pretty sure he does,
he certainly
he
does.
definitely has Karn Liberated in his hand, and
there goes that land. It is.
There goes the Triome. What can you do on red green?
No. Not looking too great.
Yeah, it's looking the worst possible way it can look.
Reading. People reading their cards is very useful, so hopefully this goes well.
Just seen a tick down in response, Leyline Bind in it. Sure, like that's fine, but
you do still get strip mined.
You lose that, and now I saw a second tower in Eric's hand. If Eric just has Ulamog,
he drew Ren in 6.
That's unfortunate card to draw after.
Three fairies.
Yeah.
Oh no.
This is
not looking too hot.
This is very unfortunate for Michael. We just see a forest. We're probably gonna see a Sylvan Scrying. Yep. If I'm Eric, I'm Sylvan Scrying for Sanctum of Ugin.
Grabbing another tower.
So he must have Kozilek or Ulamog in hand.
Probably.
He's basically looking at his buddy Michael over there going,
I got this.
Dude, I'm sorry. This is like the worst possible scenario for you.
Yeah, he had Natural Tron, went Karn, strip mined, and now he gets to just keep going.
We're going to see a card in the GC, I think. And it's going to go pretty big here. Michael's only out here is if there isn't the Ulamog that I just saw in Eric's hand.
But
unfortunately,
he has it.
He does have it.
That is just.
We're also just gonna see Eric cast this liquid metal coating, going, if you somehow strip mine me here, I'm gonna strip mine you every turn for the rest of the game, and you're never gonna play the game again.
Yeah, he's.
Oh.
Oh no.
In your upkeep, make your stomping ground an artifact unable to tap for mana.
Oh no.
Yeah, so this is game over for Michael.
There's just no coming back.
Eric arguably had the two best Tron hands I've ever seen.
That back-to-back games, natural Tron.
Yeah,
Into-
with one mulligan in the combined 2 games.
Yeah,
Eric doesn't even draw.
that's two.
Oh my god. Yeah, and they're revealing their
my
hands there, which is the
goodness.
concession. And
That hand just.
we're just gonna see Eric take it in 2.